Hello and welcome to MIM TV. My name is Jason Pitt. Today we're joined by a silver member of Made in the Midlands, James Underwood, Micromesh.
Hi, good morning. My name is James Underwood, Managing Director of Micromesh Engineering, based in Nottingham. We're a family business, started in 1968. My father started the business and basically we were around supplying the mining industry. We manufacture filters and hydraulic filters is where we specialised. And he started because of where he was located. Nottingham was the centre for mining. When he started the business, there was 368 pits at that time, and we supplied all of the mining industry right up until the last ones closed last year. The last pit to close was Kellingley at the end of last year, so there is no more mining. There's a couple of private mines, but no more mining to speak of in the UK. So I joined the business in 1989. I started on the shop floor. I keep telling him I have the longest apprenticeship in the world. I started when I was 5 years old. He argues about that, but it was about 5 years old, coming in at weekends and school holidays, making boxes and making filters. And then I joined the company fully in 1989, as I say, and worked my way through, started on the shop floor, manufacturing the product, getting used to the product. I then went into sales, went into inspection, into different areas, and eventually became managing director in 2005. So I've been managing director now for 12 years.
And you said that the pits are being closed down in the UK, so presumably exporting is now a big market for you.
Yes, yeah. I mean, exporting is something that we're really focusing on now. To say now, we've always tried to focus on it, but we've never really been that good at it, I would say. Like many companies, we've been across to lots of markets, been on lots of market visits, but never really managed to follow that up and get anything from it. And I think that was more to do with the way that we handled it than actually what we did. But certainly now we're focusing on exports. India is a big growth area for us. India now, they're looking to increase their coal production from 500 million tonnes to 1 billion tonnes of coal a year. And they're wanting to do that within the next 5 years. So we've been going over since about 2012. So about 5 years we've been going over. And the business is now starting to come through for us, but only in the last 18 months.
And what are the challenges of exporting overseas? Because I know you've been to India quite a few times, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been to India maybe 20 times in the last sort of 7 years, 5-7 years. The challenges, there's many. I mean, depending on the market, I think. India, one of the challenges is the bureaucracy. It takes very, very long time to get anything done. So an order might take 6 months to actually get raised. And then once it's raised, there's lots of paperwork that needs to go through. So that could take another 6 months. So I think patience is something that you certainly need to have in a market like India. All markets are different, but India is quite a challenging market, but the rewards are there.
I believe it's starting to pay off for you now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, last year was our first year when we really got any turnover. And we did around about £300,000 last year. Fantastic. And we're looking at doing hopefully around about 2 million this year. So it's really starting to pay off. But that's just from perseverance and patience and finding the right person as well, finding the right guy out there or the right company out there.
And recently, you acquired a company called Champion Laboratories. I think it was only August, wasn't it, last year?
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was a company. Used to be called Eurofilter, manufacturing gas turbine filters and also manufacturing heavy duty filters for industry and for people like JCB and Caterpillar. And we knew them from a long time ago when they used to be based in Nottingham, but they moved to Mansfield about 10 years ago. And unfortunately, they went into receivership last year. It's an American company, and they went into Chapter 11 in America, and they went into administration. So we had an opportunity to buy part of that business, and we knew the company, we knew the staff, we knew the MD, and we decided to go for it. It was challenging because normally when you buy a company, you get a long time to actually plan and see what you're going to do. We had 2 weeks to get everything out. So the equipment that we bought and the stock, we had 2 weeks to actually get that moved. So that was a challenge, and we had to extend our factory in a very quick manner.
It's a bold investment, and I think the total investment has been about £500,000, hasn't it, to try and beat Brexit?
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly. It was a few sleepless nights deciding whether we were going to do it or not, but it is definitely the right move. So far, we've probably spent in the region of £150,000. We've got planning permission in to extend the factory, so we're looking to spend another around about 350,000 on the equipment and extension.
What extra floor space will that give you?
It's going to double. It's going to double the factory that we're in. So we'll be in around about 35,000, 40,000 square feet by the time we're finished.
And are there any other markets that you're looking to expand into?
Yeah, the Champion purchase has given us an opportunity to get into lots of different markets. 90% of their business was export. And on gas turbines, there's a lot used. So places like, not so much India, but China is a growth market for us. Pakistan is a big market. The Middle East is a big market. Bangladesh. So all across the sort of the Far East, there's a lot used. North America is a very big market that they haven't really attacked, but we want to try and get into.
Yeah, and I know that you're particularly good at promoting yourself and getting out there and doing these things. So you're part of the Nottingham Manufacturers Network. Obviously, you're silver members of Made in the Midlands. You're involved in DIT. You regularly go on trade missions. So how important do you think it is for other manufacturers to promote themselves and get out there?
I think it's very important. I mean, if you'd have asked me that 5 years ago or 7 years ago, I'd say no. I find, the networking events and things like that, I've tried to shy away from a little bit in the past because I thought I'd got better things to do. But in all fairness, I'm starting to see now why they are important. The contacts that you make, it's not about selling. It's not about meeting somebody who wants to buy your product. It's about the contacts that you make. It's about meeting the right people who can help you maybe further down the line. So people I met maybe 2, 3, 4 years ago are now helping us to get into certain markets or helping us develop or helping us to extend the factory. So I'm like a lot of companies, we're not a big company. I'm involved in everything in the company. I'm the MD, so I get involved in making the filters. If there's an issue, I get involved in actually supplying, speaking to the customers. So I do feel my time could be better spent in many respects, but now I'm seeing how important it is, and it's really important to get yourself out there. And social media now, getting yourself out on social media and getting your name recognised. It's amazing how many people have phoned us since we bought the company Champion last year, just from the social media that we got from that, and also from the press coverage that we got.
Fantastic. What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
It's difficult. I mean, it would probably come from my father, and he gives a lot of advice. Probably don't employ any family, which is a strange piece of advice to go through to me, having been his son. But he said that, generally speaking, he said, third generation companies, they don't tend to appreciate what's happened before. So when I joined the company in 1989, we were all mining. Now in 92, they shut a lot of the mines, so the company reduced by half. And I had a real appreciation of how tough it was to build that back up again. And we got into different areas and got into different industries. But that was a real struggle. And I kind of knew that. I was driving around in a van, I was delivering stuff, I was doing this. So now passing that down to the next generation, they don't always appreciate the struggle. And it's difficult to make them start at the very bottom, particularly now. I think children's expectations are much higher.
Could you put your children in at 5 years old, do you think?
No. I mean, that's a very good point. I mean, health and safety would be tearing their hair out. So no, absolutely no. I mean, I did used to just make boxes and put stuff together at that age. But it's a different world.
You wasn't on the machines then.
Yeah, it's a different world.
If you were Prime Minister for the day, what would you do to improve conditions for manufacturing companies or perception for manufacturing companies?
Yeah, it's a difficult one. I mean, I think it's about perception. I think perception is the key word there, because certainly in the past, manufacturing has almost been a dirty word, and people have shied away from it. And we've been told in Nottingham at one point that they didn't want manufacturing companies. They wanted high-tech companies. Now, manufacturing and high-tech can go together. It doesn't mean just because they're manufacturers that it's a dirty environment. It can be a high-tech company. So I think that would be my key message, is to tell people engineers are actually, it's a good engineer, it's a good place to be. It's a good opportunity for people maybe with lower skills to get into and actually build themselves up. I didn't have the best qualifications when I came out of school and came out of college, but I learned on the job. I had a very good teacher, and I learned on the job and worked my way through. So I think that would be the message to try and get across into schools, and particularly with going overseas now, I see in India and China that engineers are held in very high esteem. You know, they're up there with doctors and surgeons and people like that. If you're an engineer, you're held up here. Whereas in the UK, people don't really see it that way, or certainly in schools, I think people don't see it that way.
Yeah, I think it's starting to change though, and hopefully that'll continue. So thanks very much for coming on, James. I appreciate your time. If you'd like to subscribe and comment, just follow the instructions below. Until next time,